This week's episode is brought to you by Derek Gerard Photography. Derek has been a professional for over 20 years and covers everything from weddings, corporate shoots, meet and greets and VIP events. He was also one of the club photographers at Dundee Football Club for 13 years. Derek will travel all over Scotland and beyond to capture your smiles, and as a wee thank you to listeners of this show, he'll give you a 20% discount when booking. All you have to do is get in touch via his Facebook page, Derek Gerard Photography, and mention the code CF26. Now, this could save you something like £300 from the cost of your wedding photography, for example. He's a great guy. He's photographed some of my shows in the past, some of the events I've done. I've met the guy. He's a legitimately brilliant photographer and a lovely gentleman, and we thank him very much for sponsoring the show. Thank you.
Stop watering dead flowers.
I am delighted to say that this week in the garden we have, and I don't even know how to describe this because this is so unique to be able to describe this as a guest. We've had stars of stage and screen, BAFTA winners, Grammy winners, but we have never, and I would imagine never again, have a Gladiators champion in the form of Josh McDonald here.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you for that good introduction as well.
It's unbelievable. It must be wild since you won the last series. I mean, it's still fairly recent in terms of it having been on.
Yes, yeah.
And you were saying it's mad. Everyone wants to hear about it, talk about it, lots of podcasts, appearances. Did you expect that, or has it been surprising how much and how big Gladiators is?
I mean, I knew Gladiators was big when applying, but I didn't really anticipate just the spike afterwards as well, about people just wanting to grab you and chat to you about it and stuff like that as well. Obviously, like, it's predominantly like a kid-focused show.
Yeah.
I was at the Glasgow Warriors game last weekend, the weekend before, and the amount of kids that are just like running up to you and all that is insane. So yeah, no, it's been crazy since the show got aired.
My daughter has said to me that I need to get a video from you at the end. We'll do that afterwards. But
a daily occurrence at this rate.
She's obsessed with it, and it is a great thing to watch as a family. You know? And
for sure.
I think that was one of the things. Obviously, the whole nation of Scotland alone was already cheering you on, and then I think there was just a greater audience affection for you when you spoke about your mum and your brother.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
And you must have felt that kind of outpouring from people just across the nation.
Definitely. Obviously, like, being the only Scot, or being the Scot that won it, like, you expect, or I sort of anticipated, like, Glasgow, Scotland to get right behind you, which is fantastic. But like, a lot of the messages and stuff like that I'm receiving is actually to do with the external things to Gladiators, about like potentially my time in the Marines. A lot of it's been centred around my sort of at-home life, caring for Max, the whole kinship role that I've got. So it's fascinating, and I think that's one of the main positives I've taken away from the show, is put a spotlight onto the situation that I'm in, and it seems to be sort of relating quite heavily to a lot of people, and that in turn leads to some opportunities where I'll be working with like support groups, and I'll be going to sort of meetings and stuff like that with other kinship carers as well, to hopefully offer a bit of guidance, advice, or just be an ear to listen to. Like, I know for me personally, I felt not quite isolated, because thankfully for me, I've got a good family, and we're all doing the same role, but potentially there's people out there that are in the same role as me that don't have somebody to sort of bounce off of. So if I can potentially be that person and an ear for just listening to it, then I'm happy to do that.
It's you've kind of already just affirmed what I was going to say before, which is just that you just seem like a good guy.
Really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I think that really comes across, you know. In terms
hopefully.
In terms of, because the contestants as well, and people are always very, you know, great respect between each other.
Yes,
And was it like that? Was there a great spirit amongst filming the shows and between the contestants?
There honestly was, like, it's funny because, like, I'm probably one of the most competitive people you'll ever meet. Like, I'm super competitive, sometimes to the extent where it's like, right, Josh, relax a little bit. So, but when you're on the show and stuff like that, it is very competitive. All the contenders there are like elite athletes, and they want to win, but the experience is worth more than the victory. Like, being out there and being on the show and getting to take part in something like Duel and Hang Tough and all those games, like, you watch it as a kid, so you're more enjoying the moment. And obviously winning was just a fantastic added bonus and the cherry on top.
See, in terms of specifically then, you talk about watching it, you know, people, this revival, I think there was an ill-fated revival in like 2007 and 8.
Yeah.
But that original run,
take off.
Yeah, people talking about it all the time, and it's the iconic events. And I think people always think, how do you train for some of these things? I mean, are you just getting in as good a shape as possible until you get to practice there? Or
Yeah.
are you in your gym kind of being like, look, can someone just start chasing me after
Somebody
5
just
seconds?
yeah.
I want to practice unleash, so just start
I'm
running.
a big like I always prepare. Like I'm quite big on preparation, but yeah, like how do you prepare for
Yeah.
Unleashed, or how do you prepare for Destruction running through walls? You
Yeah.
can't. So I think sort of like my mindset going into it was just to be as fit as possible and
Yeah.
as fast and as strong as possible. Being a CrossFit athlete, it sort of sets you up really well for that. You're doing everything. But I did try and specifically train where I could.
Yeah.
In Kelvin Hall, they've got the rock climbing
All right,
speed wall
aye.
in there, so I would be going and using that. Duel was a funny event. Me and one of the other contestants is also Scottish, Ellie. She was sending over a video. She basically was like standing upside down on like a Bosu ball.
All right.
And she had like a barbell in her hand, and she was like
wow.
swinging it about. I thought it was a great
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
So in my gym, I done the same. I got like a Bosu ball, I got like a barbell, and I was just rattling this boxing bag. The members must have been like, "What is this guy doing?" Because obviously at that point, no one knew what I was on the show. They
Yeah.
just thought that I was doing that for the sake of
I
it.
feel like Red Bull sometimes put up videos where they show people training and they're like, what do you think they're training for?
Yes,
Because it's always
yeah.
weird to be
Oh,
like,
if you were to
what is
watch
he
that,
doing?
you couldn't have guessed it. But yeah, I was literally in the gym just going full ham on this boxing bag for like 15 seconds and taking like 30-second rest and going again. But
Jewel is one of the ones, I'm sure other families or people with kids will be listening to this thinking we do the same, that I can do it. My daughter will make me set that up, but it's what we do is just stand on a cushion of the couch.
yes,
and
oh,
then
you
have
get a lot of
pillows to just
variations. Yeah.
rattle. But she does like to try Destruction, and I've tried all manner of different things to set up as walls for her to just smash through it.
That's
So
good. Gets the energy out. Hopefully, she can sleep well.
But you see, this is another thing I'm curious about, because you're ultimate fit. I mean,
Yes.
you're peak
I like to try.
elite.
Yep.
And then you come up against the Gladiators that, even though, as you say, all the contestants, I think especially this series, it looked like everyone looks like this is like a professional.
It was definitely
sport.
this, like watching it back. Like we won an awful lot of
Yeah.
games. It was usually the way that the Gladiators were
Aye.
sort of.
So when you come up
take
against the
off.
Gladiators, is there like a noticeable jump in? I mean, certainly size. Some of them are just, are they even bigger than you're expecting? I
Yeah.
mean, giant. Just even
Oh,
on
yeah.
telly, you're thinking, what is going on there?
I won't even dance around it. They're see how big you think they are. Like
Yeah.
double it. They're huge. They're so strong, so powerful. You can definitely they're gladiators for a reason.
Yeah.
There's Olympic athletes are out there. You've got professional bodybuilders,
Yeah.
Professional CrossFit athletes. Like
Yeah.
Steele, he was the elite of my sport.
Oh,
It's somebody
really?
that I would
Aye,
go and
aye.
spectate. So that sort of added to it though, because as much as you're going up against them, it was almost a privilege to sort
Yeah.
of be able to go up against them as well. So you really you appreciate that. But yeah, there's a big jump. But I back myself going up against anyone, and I never sort of walked out there thinking, "Oh God, how?" I would be
Yeah.
like, "Nah, I'm going to smash them here."
Yeah.
Like that's what you have to have. You
It's
have
like-
to have that mindset.
I guess you have to be so well rounded as well, because in my head I was like, well, there must be other folk out there that are about the same size as Giant. They might want to go on the show, but they maybe just don't have that all round level.
For
of
sure,
fitness and
yeah. You look at
flexibility.
somebody like Giant, and then you look at like Destruction. You got to like scale a wall and jump over and all that as well. So yeah, the athletes, the gladiators out there are so well rounded. They're
Yeah.
fast, strong, agile. Grip strength is insane.
Right.
Some of them are like 110 kilos, and they're doing hang tough, swinging single arm across
Aye.
rings. It's insane. They're like superhumans.
How are they, like, behind the scenes and off the camera and stuff?
Yeah.
Obviously, some of them, your legends and Vipers are kind of playing a bit of a role.
Yeah.
But is there a nice vibe between the contestants and the Gladiators? Do you get to converse much with them?
To be honest, you don't massively get to
that
converse
right?
that much. They do sort of keep you separate.
Right.
But I kind of like that.
That's good,
because I
yeah.
feel like obviously I'm a fan of the show.
Yeah.
And Legend was one of the gladiators I wanted to go up against. I want to battle that character.
Yeah.
So if he was behind closed doors, not it would kind of take away from it. But no,
Yeah.
like, but I've never heard Viper talk. Everyone asks me that, like, what's it like backstage? And I'm like,
Yeah.
he's the same. He's in a bad mood and doesn't talk.
My wife had showed me a video once where it was Steele, the guy
Mm-hmm.
that Steele was doing an interview about how he trains with Viper.
Yeah.
And he was saying, he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah,
But I was
yeah.
like, oh no, I kind of want to believe he's a
Yeah,
evil
of course,
villain.
they definitely do keep it up behind stage, which is good. It adds to it. But I mean, after any event, they'll shake your hand, they'll congratulate you. There's obviously a little bit of like, oh, I'll get you next time or whatever. There's that competitive aspect to
Yeah.
it, but at the end of the day, they're human beings as well. They
Aye.
respect the performance you put in, and as much as they're there to compete against you,
Yeah.
they're the first ones to congratulate you when you do well.
Here's another question just from my own curiosity of loving kind of behind the scenes production stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously the TV show and edited together and the next event. But how long does it take practically setting up between events? Because it's such a big scale.
Too long. Yeah, it's funny because when you're watching the episodes, when I was watching the episodes, obviously that's the first time that I see it as well. I'm sitting with my family and I'm buzzing to watch Gladiators. It's over like that. I'm thinking, so the normal episodes, so your heats, your quarterfinals, it's about 8 hours. 8 to 9 hours you're in that arena for. You sort of get picked up and you get there like 8 a.m. You'll go out and do your chat with Bradley and stuff like that. You'll maybe have like an hour and a half for your next game, an hour and a half. So it's an 8-hour filming day. The semi-finals was 14 hours.
Oh, wow.
So you're there for 14 hours filming the semi-finals. So it's a long day.
And hard to keep yourself kind of...
That's the thing as well, because it's juggling between a TV show and you're competing. Because I was there to compete, I was there to win. So you're trying to keep yourself in that mindset of performance, as well as juggling like, right, we've got to do that one again. We've got to do that take again. None of the games were done again. Obviously, the game's the game. If you mess up, you mess it up. But like Bradley and Barney might do a couple of intros or whatever, just to obviously it's TV show. But it's long days. It's really long days.
Were they nice guys as presenters and hosts?
They were like kids. They were like fans of the show. Like they would be backstage and they'd be like, "Oh my god, that was amazing" and all that, which is super cool. They were fantastic. My partner Lauren was actually more impressed that I met the Bradley and Barney than the Gladiators. She was like, "How are they like?" I'm like, "Just battled giant." What are you talking about? You know what you hear about that? She's like, "No, how's Bradley and Barney?"
Bit of Bradley's banter, man.
Yeah.
He seems like a great person, so I'm glad to hear that as well.
Yeah, they're great.
I need to ask about one Gladiator in particular. You probably wouldn't have had any dealings with her, but my daughter's favourite Gladiator is Diamond.
Right, okay,
She loves her. So
super strong Gladiator.
Did you have any interactions with her? Was she?
Yeah, she's lovely. She's super tall. She's really tall. She's like, Jesus, man. She's an athlete. She's really, really tall. Obviously, it was really unfortunate to see her get injured in Powerball. Quite a few of the Gladiators obviously got injured this year as well as contenders. It's like, you don't think of that when you apply. You think you're applying for the TV show, but there's like a super high risk of injury, especially during the games. Like, neither Gladiator or contender are there to mess about. That's what I was going
to say. It really looks like they are not holding back.
Oh,
especially that
proper
Powerball one, people getting smashed, and twisted, slammed into the ground.
I know. It was funny because again, it's a TV show. It's predominantly for kids, but see when you're in the game, you're competing. I remember doing Powerball in my heat with Finn, and I think I had Phantom, and thankfully Finn had Hammer and Steel.
Oh, wow.
But then they sort of switched around, and I had two of them on me. But the Gladiators, they're communicating to each other. So they're proper like on top of you. I'm turning around thinking, what am I supposed to do here? You just have to run through them. But yeah, Diamond's fantastic. It was really unfortunate to see her get injured, but she seems to be recovering really well, and I'm sure she'll be back bigger and better.
Here's just another kind of cheesy question. It's a pathetic question, really. Stemmed from my own insecurities, which is, how did it feel when you first had to put on the kind of iconic contestants kind of leotards? Is that a bit kind of like, oh no? Like...
I still wear it now. My partner will come home from work and I'll be in the living room having my dinner wearing it. Like, I love wearing it. It's so cool. It felt surreal. The first time you even seen it, like, you go into your changing room and it's hung up. It's like Josh and it was Finn in the heat, and it's just hanging, and you're thinking like, what the hell? I think I've got like a million pictures of just me in the bathroom at the toilet, sending it with my missus and all that. It's very surreal. This sounds so cliche, but you feel like powerful when you put it on. It feels different. So yeah, it's amazing. Amazing.
And the trophy that you won, has that got a prime place in the house?
Oh yeah, 100%. We've got a whole designated area specifically for it. There's pictures up on the wall of the Gladiators behind it as well. Usually it goes everywhere with me as well, but Lauren's like, you need to keep it in the house and get it on the shelf and stuff. But yeah, it's got a place in the living room, front and centre.
What a wild I just honestly, it's so surreal.
It still doesn't even feel real. It's mad. It's mad. But yeah, no, it was the best experience of my life.
That is so good. It really is. I mean, congratulations. Like, it's just a wild thing. In my head as well, you know, like, now that you've done it and come through it, and you're working in the fitness industry, and in my head you're going to be like Oliver Reed's character in the Gladiator film, where it's like, now you're training people to beat the Gladiators.
Exactly, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Open up a Gladiator school.
100%. Well,
if you want your freedom, you know.
You've got to work for it. Well, recently I done a sort of kids class, family class at Anytime Fitness in Bishop Briggs.
Oh, really?
I think we had like 40 to 50 people there. The staff had to actually cap it because we had too much. Like, the kids get really involved with it. And I think if we look at like my little brother Max and sort of the impact it's had on him,
Yeah.
he's really sort of like took away from the experience just how important your health and physical exercise is. So he went from being sort of almost completely sedentary
Right.
to see me on the show and is now in the gym
Wanting to
training
doing
3
it.
times a week,
Yeah.
etc. So to see firsthand the impact the show can have on kids has been so profound for me that I'm just really keen to sort of reiterate that in a larger scale. So
Yeah.
we're going to be doing some work with like local schools in the Glasgow area. So I go in
Brilliant.
and I can sort of do a bit of a talk. I can
Aye.
do like a fitness class and stuff like that for kids. And if I can help kids get active and sort of keep that fire lit for them, that'd be amazing. That'd be a dream come true.
That is awesome, you know, and I think, as you say, it kind of helps being you the Scottish guy and the Scottish champion. And
Yeah,
it's-
helps when you can relate to the individual that won it.
Yeah.
Obviously, so there'll be 3 male winners. Finlay's won season 1. He's also Scottish. I think he's based in Dubai just now. So yeah, just me here flying the flag for us. So yeah, I'll do what I can to represent the Scots.
Are you guys involved? I don't know how when they do like their live shows touring, do
Yeah,
they bring
yeah.
back you guys to
Yeah,
kinda,
fingers crossed. So
Right.
that's ran by like a separate company.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it kicks off in like October time. So we haven't heard anything yet. But I mean, fingers crossed. That'd be amazing. That'd be so good to just get to do it all again.
Right, I realise. I mean, I feel like, and I actually feel like regular listeners and watchers probably do just want to keep me asking about Gladiators.
That's all I get asked around.
But we should move into the podcast format, and away from all this Gladiators chat. How are you generally as a person? Our guests on here seem to always fall into 2 camps. It's either one, they're riddled with these little memories that pop into their heads and they can't let things
Yeah.
go, or they're the opposite. They're very good. They're kind of like, yeah, that happened, but I'm over it.
Yeah.
Where do you fall?
If I'm on it, that's probably not the most exciting answer, but yeah, I tend not to get embarrassed that much. Yeah, I
Aye.
tend, thankfully, I don't. I think I've been competing in sport my whole life, so I've always
Yeah.
been like performing in that way. I'm always in front of people. Head boy in school, like I've ticked all those boxes. So yeah, I tend not to get too embarrassed.
Right,
There's some little things that you're thinking, oh god, that didn't go great. But
Yeah.
I don't get riddled with it. Thankfully, it doesn't keep me up at night. I sleep pretty soundly.
That's good. That's good. But then, as we always say, especially on this podcast, it doesn't even have to be things that are regrettable or embarrassing, but just every so often you can be walking down the street and out of nowhere you'll remember
You're just thinking,
something.
oh god, remember that.
Yeah. And so when you did look back at the topics, was there ones that propped up a little bit? If we start with the childhood one, was there one that
Yeah.
you managed to pick out?
Well, there was for me in school. Like I think for every young lad, school is like stressful. It can be embarrassing. School's brutal. School's a bloodbath.
Yeah.
It's a war zone out there. So there was like a million things that you remember, and for me, it's more so I remember like feeling a certain way.
Yeah.
Like I remember feeling uncomfortable or feeling awkward in any sort of situation.
Yeah.
Determining what that is the hard part. But my biggest thing in school, and especially in Glasgow, football's mad. Everyone's a football fan. Rangers, Celtic, who do you support? I don't follow football at all. Never have. My mum was a single parent of 3 young lads, so usually sort of young boys watch football with their dad or whatever. I didn't have that sort of thing, so I never really get into football. But everyone around me always spoke out with football, so I used to feel so like uncomfortable. Whenever like a topic of football conversation would come up, I would just feel like I'm sort of sitting in the back, just like twiddling my thumbs, like just pure spare guy just sitting there. You know what I mean? So even now, see, even football conversations come up, I just can't contribute. And I'm just like, oh god, I feel like a spanner here.
Do you know, I grew up with a mate as well who was like that, and he just had no interest in football.
Yeah.
But the only kind of name he knew was Ali McCoist.
That's right. Even I've got sweaty palms thinking about it. Like, don't ask me a name. I don't.
No,
I
but-
hate that. It
so
freaks me out.
If he was ever around and there was football, he would his go-to line was always just, "Is Ali McCoist playing?" Even if it wasn't Ali McCoist's team or anything.
Aye, I
And
feel
even-
that was
even-
me.
yeah.
That was me.
And even now, you know, Ali McCoist retired, obviously.
Yeah.
He'll go, "Was Ali McCoist playing?" You know.
Me and my mates they used to always play this game in school where they would just like go through the alphabet, so like A, and you'd all have to go around and say football team began with A. I used to like keep myself up at night studying for this game.
Yeah.
And if my team, like if Arsenal went, I was like, right, I do not know a single other team. I'm out on A. Yeah, so the football chat definitely stressed me out a little bit, and yeah, sometimes I would like try and chip in, and it just wouldn't land, and I'd be like, oh, for God's sake, no, it's absolutely painful.
Yeah.
So yeah, football chat even still makes me uncomfortable.
He did a good kicky ball there.
Yeah, I just don't have a clue. I prefer rugby. I like talk about rugby all day. I like the rugby.
And I've said this often in this podcast as well, but I'm such an advocate for anyone that played any other sport in Scotland. I mean, I like football, I really do. But
Yeah.
because I played basketball.
Yes,
Which was a kind of odd enough sport as well to play.
Yeah,
in Scotland,
basketball's quite niche in Scotland, isn't it?
as I always say, half the population don't even want to touch the ball because it's orange. Because there's still that football mentality.
Yeah, there is.
But I'm so pleased whenever I hear people are doing like volleyball or skateboard.
Oh, I'm the same. Like,
because it's like there's not just football.
Everyone, all they do is football.
Yeah.
Everyone, and don't get me wrong, I love playing it, but I would rather play rugby or I love volleyball in school.
And like, see, for family days out, the basketball down at the Gladiators, the clan, the ice hockey, incredible days out.
Oh yeah, I went to see a Glasgow Rocks basketball team.
Yeah, they became the Gladiators.
Yeah, so I've seen them play. I went to a game. I can't remember who it was playing in the Emirates. One of my friends works for the PR, so she got us tickets to go see that. I was at the Warriors game last weekend, the weekend before.
Great.
So I love sort of watching sport and being involved in sport, but when it comes to like a knowledge thing, especially with football, I'm like a headless chicken. I don't have a clue.
Because even just not knowing about football is one thing, but there's so much just laddie banter about football as well.
In school, it was everything.
That's the thing.
Everyone played for the team. Everyone spoke about football.
Who'd you support?
I know. It was funny actually, because I've been receiving quite a lot of like messages just in general. And I got a message the other day in my request from this lad. He said he was watching Gladiators with his family, like just watching the final. He hadn't really watched it. He was catching up. And he literally said, he was like, before I say if we can support you or not, what team do you support? I was like, oh my god. And I just said, I was listening, like, I fully don't support any football team. I like rugby. He was like, right, okay, I'll let you away with it. But yeah, it still impacts me now. I'm thinking, God, I still need to study football.
There's a comic actually as well. And he used to always he doesn't follow football, but he always just said Queen of the South because he felt like it was a very non-threatening team.
Yes,
Someone who just
sit in the middle,
and then they don't know much about it either, so they're just like, all right.
It ends there. That's quite a good shout, actually.
Just
like
pick a
Partick
random
Thistle
team.
or something, just like
And
pick
one day
something
you meet
impartial.
a diehard Thistle fan, they're like, oh, what do you think of the...
And that's the thing, I felt in that trap as well, especially when you're a young lad, you're trying to fit in schools. Schools are made, you try to navigate it, and again, I would throw something out there, and if somebody would pick up on it, they would, oh my god, and I'm like, mate, I don't have any follow-ups to what I just said.
You know what it's like? Because it's a different language. I was saying it's like...
so
like
awkward.
when I try and speak Spanish in Spain, like I know a wee bit, but then if they think I can actually speak Spanish...
And then you've got that awkward
like,
breakdown.
No, I'm away here.
No, school, that was definitely quite nerve-wracking for me in school, whenever it come up, sweaty palms, get all awkward and embarrassed.
I've got, just as another aside as you're saying this, because honestly, my mate that doesn't follow football at all, he ended up in the fire brigade as well. And again, a sweeping generalisation, but certainly in the kind of in the watch that he was in, he was saying that it's a laddie banter and football played such a big part of the stuff. So he'd be texting like our friendship group, being like, "Give us some chat about what's happened at the weekend."
I've been there, man. Yeah, I remember like actually like looking at the games over the weekend in case if somebody spoke about it Monday, and I could kind of chip in a bit. But it opened up a can of worms because then they assume you know, and they'll ask you a question. I'm just like, mate, I don't have a clue. And then it's just like, how do you not know? You're a young lad and you live in Glasgow. I'm just like,
but now you can just own it and just feel like,
do CrossFit athletics and rugby. That's the sports.
I'm a champion of Gladiators, mate.
There we go. I don't need to know who won the football at the weekend.
So yeah, football and feeling like totally out of place. As a young guy,
definitely.
I can see that and
that like fight to try and fit in.
Because everything's so insecurities. You don't know who you are, and people are so quick to judge when you're young.
Yeah, school's brutal. School is brutal. It's good it's good and bad. Because again, the things that typically make people embarrassed, I didn't feel embarrassed by.
Yeah.
But in school as well, you get scrutinized for everything. I remember I wore this jacket. I remember when you come to the end of summer holidays, or so you go back to going to school, you're like, right, Mum, I need to get like a nice outfit for going back to school.
Yeah.
I need a new jacket, I need some new shoes. And I can remember it to this day. I got like nice pair of shoes from like Foot Asylum. I got a jacket from Foot Asylum as well, and I thought I looked the bee's knees. And I walked into school, and at this time I was sort of S5, S6, so we always used to sit up the back. That's where the cool kids sit, the older kids up the back. And the first one of my mates was like, "What are you wearing? Why are you wearing that jacket?" And I thought, I'm going to kill myself. This is too much.
Right at the start.
I was like, oh god, that's like a start to day one of school, isn't it? School's brutal. But then like public speaking, taking assemblies, like I never had trouble with any of that sort of stuff. Usually people would get uncomfortable around that. I don't mind doing stuff like that at all. But then again, you'd be scrutinised for doing it as well, so you can't win.
You can't win, man. And even,
School's brutal.
you know, fashion wise as well. If you had a crappy pair of shoes as well, you get slagged for that. But then if you did have a new pair of shoes,
Oh, you're trying too hard.
you just get slagged for that.
Trying too hard. It's so funny, and it's so funny to think about the things that you used to stress about in school. Like, I used to really stress about like what I would wear to school that day.
Yeah.
I could not care what I wear today. Like, and no one cares either. I mean, you've got bigger things to worry around.
I remember there was a summer like that going back, and I was saying to my mum constantly, and my brother already had a pair, and I needed to have a pair of kickers. I don't know,
Yeah.
that was the shoe at the time. Man. I was like, I need kickers, or I'm just not going to fit in. And
Yeah.
it was wild.
I remember it being like super dry jackets when I was in school. You had to have a super dry jacket.
Yeah.
Mum's like, you're not getting one. I was like, I need this jacket.
My social
Yeah, my
livelihood
credit
depends on
all
this.
relies on this jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I'm looking at it thinking, why would I? Like, who cares what jacket you have?
I had a nickname as well, which was the Matalan Man.
Matalan Man.
Gee,
That's
said
brutal.
loads of Matalan stuff.
Mine was
Georgiasta.
sweaty in my school. Not because I used to sweat, but I used to be quite a try hard, especially when it came to like PE and stuff like that.
Oh, aye.
They'd be like, calm down, sweaty. I'd be like, I'm winning, so I don't care.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move away from childhood then. We'll ignore those younger versions of ourselves. We'll move into the career one.
Yes.
Now, have you always worked in the fitness industry? And then obviously you had the marine
Yes.
training stuff. Was that the first thing you did out of school? The Marines?
No, so it was actually working for like retail.
Right.
My first ever job was on my 16th birthday. It was for Foot Asylum in
Right.
Silverburn. And then from there, I went to JD Sports.
Right, okay.
Based in the one in Brayhead.
Yeah.
I worked for JD for maybe like 4 or 5 years, like quite a chunk of time.
Aye.
And I covered different stores, so you get dotted around and stuff like that.
Good discounts.
Yeah, good discounts. Yeah, too good because then you end up spending more money because you get more discounts, and that's when you have like your student loans and all that. So we just go all and like getting new shoes and stuff. But I worked for JD for years. I was like store manager, the one in Brayhead, I think when I was like 18.
Oh, wow.
So like it would be like
Oh.
Christmas and stuff like that, and the
Aye.
queues out the door. You get angry parents or whatever, angry people at the queue, and then little 18-year-old Josh walked up, be like, "Yeah, you can't get a refund, mate." You're like, "Who are you?
is this?
You're younger than my son." So yeah, that was always challenging,
Oh,
but I think it sort of built up a level of like confidence and like
Yeah.
this is it, it's the way it is sort of
Yeah.
thing. So yeah, I worked for JD for a while, and that was sort of when I was at university.
Right.
I went to the University of Stirling, so but I worked full time in Glasgow.
Oh,
So I would sort of
wow,
like
commuting and-
go to lectures and then like bounce back. I was still 40 hours in Glasgow working on top of uni, so it was a lot of juggling. And then when I got towards the sort of end of my degree, I was thinking, right, I need to start working in the fitness industry. But I knew that was what I wanted to do. And I worked for UWS in their sports campus.
Okay.
And then I worked for Anytime Fitness, where I'm currently based in now. I left them for a short time, worked for Glasgow Life as a lifeguard,
Yeah.
joined the Marines, back to Anytime Fitness.
Right.
So been
always
quite a chop and change, but quite fitness related.
Sporty and fitness. and-
Yeah.
So when you were trying to pick out one of these moments from a kind of career moment, did
Mm-hmm.
it come from one of those earlier jobs, or did it come from Gladiators? What was the one
Yeah.
that kind of came to mind?
The one that came to mind was actually when I worked in JD, because as I said, I was 18 as a store manager.
Right.
So I already had quite a hurdle to climb in terms of like not gaining respect, but getting people to sort of do what I asked sort of thing. And I remember taking a sort of health and safety training course with like new starters.
Okay.
And there was a lad in there, I was 18, he must have been like mid-30s. And he fully just was not
Aye.
playing into me. He just really struggled with that. Manager is
Yeah.
like half my age pretty much.
Aye.
And I always did and always still do like really carry myself professionally. Like work is work. We're there to get a job done, no matter of age or whatever. Like, that doesn't really come into play of it. But he just wasn't having it at all.
Yeah, I bet.
And that was the first time I really had to overcome like that sort of situation. But he just kept shutting it down, and then it sort of like discredited my managerial sort of status with the rest of the new team as well.
He's undermined.
So then I felt like the wee guy in the situation. I remember just dreading going to work if he was in, even though he was literally day one of the job, and I was manager for like 4 years at that point. It was just so awkward. I thought, how is this like new start made me feel like this sort of thing? It was hard to overcome that battle.
So immature of him. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if he realises now, like, God, that was pretty.
Aye, for no need. It was brutal. It was
Yeah.
absolutely brutal. But thankfully, there's not really been too many issues in work where I felt embarrassed or said the wrong thing in any given moment and then slipped up or whatever in that regard. There's, with my colleagues, though, there has been something that I still even cringe at the moment thinking of. So I'm quite like a keen golfer. I enjoy playing golf.
Oh,
I'm not
good.
good by any means, but quite recreational. Like me
Right.
and my mates will go out and play golf.
Good.
Good to get out there in the fresh air, doing an activity, and it's just banter. It's good fun.
Yeah.
My manager is a very good golfer. He's been golfing for a long time.
Right.
So he's a very, very good golfer. And he invited me and two of my colleagues to go and get around the golf at his home course in EK. So we've got manager, really good golfer, and we've got the three of us who are recreational golfers. We can play, but we're not his standard by any means. So we were nervous going into it already. We're thinking, God, he's going to like proper laugh at us and all that. And it's like a proper good course. So what if, like, I'm talking like I'll drive and miss the ball? Like, that's the level I'm at here. And I'm thinking I can't be doing this in front of him. So I would be going to the range and try to practice and try to get up a little bit. And me and my colleagues were literally like, this is going to be a nightmare. Like, we were nervous for it. We were in the warm-up area, proper warming up and all that. And then it came to game day. We were actually playing all right. We were playing all good. And me being like very competitive and very sporty, if I'm playing well, it then is a negative impact where I get super cocky. I'm thinking, I'm like Tiger Woods here. Like, I can play golf here. And so you came on to say, I think it was like the 7th hole or something like that, and I had a really bad drive off the tee. So we're talking like 150 yards or something, since I had so much to go to the pin. And it was sitting nicely on a fairway. It was a little sort of downslope to it, and I've hit it a few times, like a driver off the deck, and I'm thinking, I can drive this off the deck here. I can do that. This is going to work, because I went to a stag do in Portugal not long before that, and I was smacking drivers off the deck. I thought, I've got this all day. So the confidence came out, and I said to my manager, I was like, "Here, watch this. Like, you want to see something special?
No.
I'm gonna hit a driver off the deck." And he was like, "You sure? Downslope, wet grasses, or that?" And I was like, "That. I've got this. Watch and learn." I proper was like pushing it.
Yeah.
And my mate, we were playing 2-on-2. He was like, "Mate, don't do this." And I was like, "Nah, I've got this, mate. Give me my driver. I've got this, right?" Teed up. I went to, and obviously the pressure of like, I need to smack this here. So I've now really tried to hit it. I've swung the club, missed the ball. I've spun round because it's wet grass. I've done a full 360, and I fell flat on my face on the grass. Like, fully swung, missed the ball, spun all the way around, landed in the grass, and he just burst into laughter. And then the other colleagues were literally head and hands, like shaking.
Man.
I've never felt so embarrassed in my entire
The shame of it.
life. It was honestly, it was dreadful. He still brings it up now.
Yeah, of course.
And then my colleague, he'll bring it up. We'll be in the office and he'll be like, "Oh, mind you missed that ball." But it wasn't even the fact that I missed the ball. The fact that I fully swung at it, and then just like fully, like, my arm just took away, fell on the ground. I was wet. Oh, it was dreadful. It was actually dreadful.
What's filling me with fear is you're talking about that, and like I am not. You're a recreational golfer. I might have described myself as a recreational golfer maybe years ago, and I'm talking maybe 4 times a year, go out with some mates.
Yeah.
I haven't played now for years, and I've got to play tomorrow. This will be out for a few weeks, so.
Oh God, really?
I've got to play tomorrow at the Renaissance.
Oh God.
Course, where the
I think
Scottish
golf
Open's
feels in
going
his
to be.
head now. Honestly, I get so nervous.
And I'm like, I don't know. And I see the last 2 weeks, I've been trying to go to the range, and Easter holidays. I've got kids. So
try to get time to do it's hard, isn't it?
But I have to buy golf shoes and think, I need to buy like the gear.
Classic.
And all the gear, no idea. So I look
playing
like I know
golf. It honestly stresses me out. There's nothing worse than when you're playing and you get to a group of lads and they're like, "Oh, you just play through." I'm thinking, "Oh, you're joking me."
No, I don't.
Hit a drive, it goes about 180 yards to the right onto the road. I'm thinking, this is an absolute disaster.
I'm dreading it, and now that's going to be in my head.
Oh God, I know it's a wrong story to tell me before. Honestly, if you could have seen it, a full rotation fell on the ground after giving up the whole watch this, I'm going to smash this. Yeah, you want to see how it's done. It was grim.
Imagine it had been filmed in that, the Gladiators. People would see
God,
that.
it wasn't filmed.
No.
I wouldn't have got on the show.
He can't come.
He can't come on the show. He's not an athlete.
What is the? I don't know, going back but now I'm like, what is the application process? Like, see if you apply to be on it, do you have to prove a certain level of fitness?
Yeah.
Do a preliminary.
So you can apply. So the applications are out now for season 4. So you can apply now. So, but I actually didn't necessarily apply. Me and my partner Lauren, we were just laying on the couch watching Below Deck or something like that, and one evening, and she got a message on Instagram from one of the casting team. Found your Instagram account, think you'd be really good for the show Gladiators, would you mind applying? So yeah, Lauren's in really good shape. She trains 4 or 5 times a week, but it's primarily weight based.
Okay.
Her cardio's appalling. Like we never argue, but the only times we argue is if she does cardio, we train together. It's painful. It's honest. She's got a home gym in her parents' house. They've got a home gym, and I was trying to get her to do some cardio because she said she wanted to try and do it. And she would be stopping and sipping water every 2 minutes, and at one point I actually grabbed a glass of water and I flung it out the gym. I was like, "You don't need water." And then she's
we're getting a real insight here.
We don't argue, but if we train together, we argue.
Sort yourself out, Lauren.
Do some cardio, darling. Let's do some cardio.
You're lazy.
She said it. So she was like, "Yeah, I'll apply." And she was like, and she also said, she's like, "Oh, my partner Josh, he does CrossFit, elite CrossFit athlete. Can he apply as well?" And they were like, "Yeah, go for it." So we filled out an application, and then we got invited down to like a tryouts day in Edinburgh with obviously other potential contenders. They ran those tryout days throughout the UK. There was hundreds of people that go down to it, and it's essentially like a mini adult PE day.
Oh, really? So it's not like any of the events per se?
No, not any of the events. It was just like basic fitness tests,
Right.
shuttle runs, burpees, rowing. Basic fitness tests. And from that, they then pull, I would assume, the top performers to be the potential contenders.
Yeah.
After the tryout days, it narrows down to just 20 males, I think, and 20 females.
Wow.
And you go down to Sheffield for a couple of days, and that's when you get to try all the games.
Oh, really?
So you get to do every game. People think you get to like prepare for the show in the sense of like you're playing dueling, you're practicing and all that. Like you don't at all. You get to try every game like once for like a minute.
And then you do just.
It's just they just need to see that you can physically do it, because some of the games are obviously like the edge are really high up. Some people have a fear of height, so they physically couldn't take part in the game, therefore they can't go on the show. So it's not practicing, it's just seeing if you can do it.
Yeah.
And then from how you get on playing the games, they'll then pick the cast.
Oh, I see.
So it's quite like a long process, but each stage is quite exciting
Was
as well.
there any of the, because there's so many games, like I always forget sometimes, was there any that you did on the kind of wee trial day that you were like, I wish I'd got to do that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I didn't get to do any of the Atlasphere ball games. So you get Crash Course, you get Atlaspheres. That is hard. That one's probably, from what I can remember, the most taxing. It's brutal. The ball's like 250 kilos, I'm sure. And it's just continuous running. So I would have loved to have got to try that. But then again, it was brutal, so probably not. But yeah, the games are fun.
We're going to go into your last topic. But because we just went back into Gladiators, I remembered another question that me and my wife have debated about. The Travelator, or the kind of iconic Travelator at
Dreaded
the end
Travelator, yep.
I have a theory, maybe you wouldn't even be allowed to tell us if it's the case, that at first, when people are trying to go up it, and it felt like again this time, people are so knackered, so many people fell and it's hard. See if someone, and sometimes...
Which you're going to ask. And I'm not saying a single thing.
It felt like they definitely had to slow it down sometimes for people if they were on like their fourth or fifth event, because I'm like, if anything, they have less energy now.
Yeah, every time you try and fail, it takes a lot out of you. I'm not saying anything regarding the speed of that Travelator. All I know is I flew up it.
Did it.
That's all that matters to me. But it is really quick.
Yeah.
It's very steep as well. It's something you can't really tell looking at it on TV, just the incline that you're going at. I'm a very fast athlete, so the speed was quick, but it wasn't necessarily the issue. It's the technique to it.
It was the getting onto it.
That's what caught me in my heat.
Almost jump
You have
onto
to kind of look up. But yeah, it's quick. It's quick and it's hard. But they've got the live experience opening up in Birmingham next month, so you can actually go down and try it. Yeah. See how you get on. Put your money where your mouth is.
These knees. I'll be like, they better slow it down. Okay, going back to the podcast, a relationship story. Was there one that popped out from here, from either romantically or a relationship with friends, family? Is there anything that haunts you a little bit?
A little bit with my partner at the moment.
Other than shouting at your partner for not
Oh
being
yeah,
fit
I'm not
enough.
embarrassed by that. She needs to get her fitness up. But it was when you sort of like meet the parents. So like when my partner I'm with just now is I've been with her for like 5-6 years. Sorry, Lauren, if I got that right. I'm pretty sure it's 5-6 years. And obviously meeting the parents is a scary ordeal for any sort of like new boyfriend and stuff like that. And I don't know if she was trying to wind me up or whatever, but she was telling me, not horror stories, but she was like, my dad, he's stern. He's really stern. You're going to have to like be on your A game and stuff. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, who is your dad here? And then she was like, oh, my brother's actually even worse. Like, he'll like snoop on your social media profile. He's an FBI agent. So I'm thinking, oh my God, meeting this family's going to be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember the first time I met Lauren's dad, Gavin, and maybe, I don't know, he played into it as well, but we're outside and the arms are folded and he's pure like
I'm picturing like Robert De Niro in the
yeah,
the
oh yeah,
Fockers.
that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Like minimalistic words and stuff like that as well. But I'm obviously really trying to sort of make an effort, and I would have been like one of the earlier times of meeting him. He's quite a big whiskey drinker, as am I. Like I do enjoy a whiskey. But what he gave me was not whiskey. It was like, I don't know what it was. It was like I'm used to like my level of whiskey. He's got these like amazing, like, expensive whiskies and all that, and all the bottles. And he's like, "Do you want a whiskey, Josh?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, please. So that'd be great." And Lauren was like, "You sure you want one of Dad's whiskies? I think they're a bit different to yours." And I was like, "That'd be fine. Give me a whiskey. I don't mind." Honestly, like the second it touched my lip, it was fire. It was like I've never tasted whiskey like it in my life.
But you're like,
I've got to like keep a straight face here. So I'm sort of like sipping this whiskey. I'm thinking everything's going all good. It's going all right. And it wasn't until like a couple of days later, and Lauren was like, "Dad was watching you the entire time, the entire time, and it was evident that you could not handle that whiskey." And I felt so embarrassed because even now, anytime he offers me a whiskey, he's like, "Are you sure you want a whiskey, Josh?" I'm like, "Give me the whiskey, it's fine." But yeah, honestly, it's just that way you try and make a good impression initially.
You're like, "Give me the whiskey, and you know what? Put the football on."
Yeah, go for it. Well, he's a pro West Ham fan as well.
Is he?
Yeah, but honestly, there's a couple of like stumbles I would have made initially. I remember as well, like I've met Eddie Hall, not like met personally, but I've stood next to Eddie Hall. Like he was at a CrossFit event that was running in the SEC like years and years ago, and he came down as like a guest or whatever and got to do one of the events, and sort of like I was judging at it, so I sort of seen him and he was there and stuff like that, and it was cool. And I remember being in Lauren's parents' house and we were watching like Strongman, and he was on it. And obviously I said, "Oh, I've met Eddie Hall. He was at this like event I was at. Like, guy's obviously absolutely massive and super strong." And they were asking me questions about Eddie Hall. And obviously I wanted to make sure I could answer them, otherwise they're going to think I'm some sort of dafty or whatever. And he asked me how tall Eddie Hall was, right? And even now, it's so painful, right? I don't know why I said it. But I couldn't in my head perceive, because he's tall, but he's not like the tallest of guys.
Yeah.
And I think I said he's like 5'6" or something like that. Honestly, I think I was, he's 5'6". And I'm one of these guys as well that I'll never apologise or admit I was wrong. So I was like, he's 5'6" or something. And because it was quite fresh with being Gavin in the relationship as well, he wasn't going to be like, "He's not 5'6". He was like politely being like, "You sure he's 5'6"? He looks bigger than that." And I was, "No, he's 5'7". Mate, me say 5'6". I'm pretty sure he's like 6'4", 6'3" or something like that. And he still says it to me. Or even Lauren will be like, "Oh, I remember you thought Eddie Hall was 5'6". And I'm just like, oh, it's so embarrassing. So embarrassed. I hate it even now. It's crazy.
There seems to be a theme though of you just really doubling down.
Oh, I just dig my heels in. Oh yeah, I'm not backing down to anything. Yeah, but yeah, I think the first time you meet like your partner's parents is always a nerve-wracking experience anyway. And sometimes stuff just like slips out.
Oh,
and it definitely did for me.
I'm still trying to win my in-laws improvement.
Never-ending battle.
I hope you get if you meet Eddie Hall again, get a picture next to him and then just put up a photo saying,
I'll stand in a box or something like that. But I told you he's 5'6".
Evidence. Well, listen, I hope you feel a bit lighter for having shared
I feel like I got a lot off my chest today. It was really good.
It's good, and just honestly, it's so surreal. I'm so pleased you've come on. I genuinely don't think I'll ever meet another Gladiators champion. I mean, that's unique.
I'm one of 3 males. One of 3 males in the planet. 1 of 4 after this year. You know what I mean? It's a rare group. It's a privilege to be part of it.
And I'd usually ask what stuff you've got coming up, but you said you've got all these different plans to hopefully get to schools, training days. And are you still competing at the CrossFit as well?
Yeah, definitely.
They do competitions like quite regularly.
They do, yeah. Well, I'm competing in sort of CrossFit and High Rocks. The High Rocks is really cool because it's actually with the boys I was on Gladiators with. So nice. Me, Tyler, Finn and Sean, we sort of founded a really good bond after the show. We've met through the process and we're now really good mates. So
Ty was the guy you beat in the final, I
did beat him in the final, yes. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, he said it. But then Finn beat me in the heat and stuff like that as well. So it's good that we've all sort of had a one-up on each other. But yeah, we're really good friends now. We went to Stockholm last year and competed in High Rocks, and we came second there. We podiumed. We're going to Helsinki in a couple of weeks, Oslo the end of the year. So we are all really good mates and we're competing as well. So you'll definitely see more of us competing within the next sort of like year or so, and I've got some CrossFit stuff as well coming up as well. So never going to stop competing. That's why I train.
Well, thanks very much again for coming on the show. It's been great, and thanks to everyone again for watching, listening. Thanks to Molly today on tech, Chris Thorburn, that's the editor on the Stand Comedy Club. Cheers.
Thank you.